Okay, in this part, we're going to use the UIImagePickerController to allow us to pick image from the image picker controller. And let's start off with a new project, a single view app, and let's name something. Let's call it What the Fruit. And make sure the language is selected to Swift, not Objective-C. Click Next, and let's create this project. So as we create this project, we have this screen, and let's hover to the view controller. We have this file and the storyboard file. The storyboard file, I've noticed that it's relatively slow in Xcode 10. This is Xcode 10. This is not the beta version. This is the official release, and it takes a lot of time to load. So let's try that again, and this time it loads. So we have it. We have a blank screen. This error. Let's try that one more time, and this time it's okay. So here we go. Let's embed in a navigation controller. What this navigation controller allows us to have a bar on top, so we can use a button on the top corner. Let's Command Shift L to bring up the object menu and place a UI bar button item. And this UI bar button item, let's make its system icon to camera, and we're going to use this button to allow us to pick images from our photo library. First, we have to make an IB action instead of an IB outlet. Make sure it's an action, not an outlet. Let's name it camera pressed, and make it a type of UR bar button item. Let's connect, and okay, to make sure this function is working properly, we can have a print statement. Let's say camera pressed picked, and let's run it. So the build time is relatively slow. It takes a couple of time to load the simulator. Well, let me explain what we're going to do. We're going to tap on the camera button that's on the top right, and allow us to pick an image, and then we're going to display that image onto our image view that I will show you in the next couple of minutes. So the app loads, and we don't really have anything on the screen yet, just a navigation bar and a top camera button. It takes a little bit of time, and finally we have loaded. Now let's press on the camera. It prints camera picked, so we're ready to go. Okay, now instead of the print statement, what we can do is let's make an instance of UIImagePickerController, and we're going to set its source type to the camera, since we're going to use the camera for selecting the image, and also allow the user to edit that image if he wants to. And we're going to present it using the present function, and we're going to pass in the image picker. Animated true, completion of nil, since we don't want to do anything after the image is picked. And there we have it. Let's add a self here. Okay, now we have this, but we need a little bit of delegate functions to handle our picked image. So let's confirm to UIImagePickerController delegate, and let's have a look what functions are available. We have did finish picking media with info, and did cancel. So we're going to implement this, and let's see. Did finish picking media with info. We have this function, and another function did cancel image picker controller. This is when the user cancels the picker image and doesn't do anything. So we set the delegate itself, and now we can use these functions. So when we move to the image picker controller, we also need to conform to the UI navigation controller delegate, since we're going to navigate from the view controller to the image picker controller. And let's write this function. Let the picked image be from the info dictionary that is provided to us from the parameters, and we're going to pass in the key of UIImagePickerController dot info key. It's up there right in the info key dot original image, and we're going to downcast that to UI image. And since the dictionary terms are optional, we have to write an if let. Okay, now we have the picked image, and let's also handle a case for the edited image. In case the image is edited, then we need to pass in the key of UIImagePickerController dot info key dot edited image, and we're going to downcast that as UI image as well. And now we have these images. What we're going to do is we need to have an image view to display that image. So let's Command Shift L to select an UI image view, and let's place that onto the screen. For this episode, we're not going to use any constraints. I'm going to show that in a later video. And let's make an outlet of image. Oh, there's another way of using this. We can write it as IB outlet week 4. Instead of creating an outlet directly from the storyboard, we can write it up and then connect it from the view controller itself. So that's another way of connecting it. Now we have an image. Now we can set the picked image to the image views image property. That's self.imageView.image is equals to the picked image, and we can also set the edited image to the image property in case the image comes out edited. And we can, in case the user selects the cancel button, we can dismiss the image picker controller. And let's write animated true and completion nil, since we don't want to do anything. Okay, let's give it a try and let's see what happens. We're running this, and we should see a problem since we've selected the image picker source type to camera, and since this simulator has no camera, it's going to crash. And as expected, it crashes. We have a huge crash. We have a lot of errors. Actually, it's just one error, but it's a lot of text. So what we can do is change the source type of the image picker to be the photo library. And to access this photo library, we need to provide a key in the info plist file, and it's called the privacy photo library usage description. And we can add any kind of information to notify the user of what we're going to do. And let's say allow access to the photo library. And now that's okay. Now it's going to run. Built successfully. And we're going to use the camera button again. And this time, the photo album is loaded and it loads this picture. And we're going to use this picture, but since we choose it, nothing happens. Why could that happen? Because we're choosing the image, we're not really doing anything. So after it's picked, we need to dismiss the image picker controller itself. So write that, dismiss animated true, and we can also do that for the edited image. Or we could have done it after these if statements. Well, for the purpose of this tutorial, it's okay. Let's run that one more time. And this time we're going to select an image from the image picker controller. Select an image, choose, and this time it dismisses, and it also sets the image view property to image.